Bienvenidos a CTIA 2011, estamos en Orlando y como podrán comprobar yo tengo un resfriado tremendo. De hecho, estábamos hablando con mi compañero, con Juan Jiménez, director de marketing, que si fuera al Tour de France y pasara el control antidoping posiblemente perdería el título. Así que les voy a pedir disculpas porque voy a estar todo el rato haciendo ruidos con mi nariz y posiblemente tosiendo. Espero hablar poquito y así no les molesto mucho. Bueno, nuestro primer invitado habla en inglés, vamos a cambiar al inglés y se llama Sharon Bell y es director de Global Alliances y Channels de una empresa que se llama Bridgewater Systems y que ustedes ya conocen. Sharon, welcome to Telesemana TV.
Thank you.
As I was saying, apologies for my cold. And tell us what Bridgewater Systems is showing here for the operators. What is your message? And put me out of my misery, don't let me talk anymore.
Well, at this show, there's a lot of buzz around new devices coming to the market, and it's important from the perspective for Bridgewater, where we play is in the control plane of the network. And so at this show, we've been talking about all the new devices coming to the market, but the impact that those devices have on the core network for operators and how they can manage and monetize the network and deal with those new devices. So at this show, we're talking about some of the key themes around monetizing the network, how to use policy control to optimize and monetize the network, and what are the range of new service offerings that operators can bring to market around these new devices, data packages, plans, and control of the network.
Okay, when you talk about new devices, obviously we're talking about smartphones first, but then the iPads and the tablets and all these things that are coming out. What is different from the control panel for the operators when all these devices come in and the 2G devices, which you only use SMS and voice, disappear?
Well, when you look at the traffic profile of the network, all these new devices have big data plans and capabilities around data services and video, and that's really what's driving a lot of the traffic on the network. So from an operator perspective, they're looking at this growth in traffic on the network that these devices are enabling. And it's a good thing and a bad thing for operators. It's a good thing because they're getting more devices on the network and more traffic. But from the other side, you have to look at, how do you optimize and ensure that the users have a good quality of experience every time they try and access a video, for example. So from the control plane perspective, it's about how do you get users onto the network, authenticate them, and then how do you apply policies to those users to ensure that they get a good quality of experience, that they get what they're paying for, and that you give them opportunities to purchase new applications and services as well, which is important for the operators when they look at how they monetize the network.
Okay, let me ask you about this. There is operators, obviously they have this constraint with spectrum, obviously, so they need to be smarter in terms of how they use the resources on the network. And then we're seeing some operators like AT&T say, okay, we're going to be using Wi-Fi also to offload some of the network. In the future, can we see companies like Bridgewater offering a service that might allow even that control panel to transcend the cellular micro network and also manage the Wi-Fi network?
Actually, it's a great question because it's one of the key themes here at the show for us.
Okay.
We've been talking a lot about Wi-Fi offload. We actually have a number of customers that are using our solutions today to do offload from the core mobile network onto Wi-Fi. And the requirement for offload is really growing, and we're seeing a lot of requirement as operators look at not just how they optimize the 3G network, but as they move to LTE, how they provide the customers with a range of opportunities for accessing the network, be it over Wi-Fi, over the core mobile network, and then how they optimize that traffic once it's on the network. So offload is definitely a key theme, and it plays right into the control panel where Bridgewater provides solutions. So the control plane includes how you bring users on the network, be it Wi-Fi or the mobile network, and then how you move them between networks and manage their experience across those networks. It's a key part of the solution.
Okay, is that something only for the US, or you would say that the Wi-Fi offloading may apply even in Europe or even in Latin America, where hotspots are not as large as here?
I mean, it's a global theme. Where you offload subscribers onto what type of network depends, and we see different requirements in the different regions. But definitely, it's a global theme that we see across the board, and it really differs based on whether the operator owns the Wi-Fi or whether it's partner Wi-Fi, or whether it's other types of access technology. There's a lot of discussion from converged operators around maximizing the use of their fixed assets and their wireless assets, and so across the board we see these requirements from operators, and in the U.S. market, some of the operators own their own Wi-Fi hotspots, and we see the cable operators playing into that as well. So it's a bit of a stronger theme, but it's certainly something that we see requirements for elsewhere.
Okay. We're seeing also that the enterprise market is adopting the iPads very quickly. And actually those are very hungry data users, and that require a level of service that it's probably higher than
Yes.
Then what, I don't know if there's a way in your platform to distinguish so the operators can have certain type of policies for end users and certain type of policies for the corporate sector.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a key theme in policy, and policy's really moved beyond just basic fair usage, which we were all talking about a year or 18 months ago, and it's moved into this range of differentiated policies based on user group types. We see requirements around enterprise policies. We see requirements around delegated administration, so enterprises can manage their own sets of policies that operators are looking at. And so, I mean, there's a huge range of different types of policies. One of the things that we've launched in the last month is a cookbook, which goes through all the different types of use cases. We call it a cookbook, but it's effectively a big book of use cases that operators can look through, that they can roll out with policy. And it goes very, very far beyond just basic network policy to user policy, group policy, enterprises. M2M is another big theme that we're seeing.
This book you're talking about is a physical book?
Yes.
Something that can be checked online? Or
yes, absolutely. You can download a sample of it off our website, and you can email us to get a more comprehensive view, and it goes through about 100 different use cases that operators are able to roll out.
What about if an operator in Latin America wants to get a copy of that cookbook?
They can absolutely come to our website and download a copy, and there's some very interesting use cases for that market, specifically around prepaid data, pre-purchase, different types of offerings to attract data users that are on prepaid types of plans, and things you can do with policy control in that space.
Okay, when you mentioned that you launched that a month ago, that means that you launched that at Mobile World Congress?
That's right, absolutely.
Okay. Any news? Has anything changed from Mobile World Congress to CTI from the perspective of Bridgewater? Or?
Well, we've had a running set of announcements over the last 6 weeks.
Okay.
We've talked about, we launched the cookbook, we've talked about some new customer wins for Bridgewater in the 3G, 4G space.
Okay.
We announced our traction in the M2M market, over 10 million M2M devices under management in Bridgewater Solutions.
In the U.S.?
In the U.S. and globally. There are some other customers as well, but predominantly in the U.S. market. And so we've had a rolling set of announcements through the last 6 weeks talking about policy momentum, the new customer wins that we've had over the last 12 months as well.
Okay. Well, Sharon, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you soon here at Telesemana TV.
Thank you very much.